a girlfriend, a sister, we are expecting and counting on your support and your presence.
Ebusha mamau achi sanmau akwaba zeba Coastal Television digital 514 Damara na Oyego TV channel 54 Sentendo de Sentogazo digital boss nze oye channel 22 inti se waza ne bebe wobi anu pay mejo kumso wonje mahenwa ende aka yawda busuma yomi ne da otodo edonu enum na ta mo tibiaran obaade tasanyame na dawol mara ode nkwana ahode so ode achahen we pempen kakakra ma yede busumi so rukọ eweyi na enda yale adumadum na ya be di center focus ye wo bi yede maw na anepei nsama ya bohwe yetu nkomo bi tede ede na otodo ebien ebu na mom nyeda wode machine bu bia na lesuwa oda mabire we ebu ekum nyimpa wo oye ogwa iye da otodo ebien onunti wama ogwa mayen osaba ma doctor kwesato to na ebien ode nanyimnyam ekupe ifie ho bebi asam ne sei no na wacheche oye hona wona homa hyehye no wacheche wona wie na waka akomoyo to nsam oda ache wona bokọ yakohwe nsam a otedam yefiwa yabokọ oye ayiko buano no do eho na mensa saba suku kasa otedam osi na sunday ebe na sam na orokodo mensa saba suku wo suku no atetu apansam no kwani eho na tete suku no wo mede ebusia yabokọ na yakohwe bi yefiwa mo yimfi de ende anada na oye jeno maami tokuno oye nkano chief justice maami waye nsem 12 inches nan masema to go there aban rotating with the political influence wana de ubutu ne fiade do ono ontunde ontichina jede mbrakwanu wate ato no ne kase wi aso na aban na nemsi aban na kasemafo no so de na de tuade de onye nukole America biale nyiwa oye da aban ono ode political wechantedere ye debi mbra na aban namdo ebukwa akohwe nsema otsere na ansa na yakọ oye de obokata na podo nda yale ma obegwodo no yebedi nkomo bi amba yebedi nkomo bi ba yebedi nkomo senenso na wotwe ba Umar bin Abdallah abatenase na ode nkomo twetwe biala ho no ode Abraham from kitikeku asorba Kofi Esuman afi yehye nsam na ase fiti dano memenda awago sama osi wo oye ogwa mensinmu danu bui wo London Bridge ma adehye nyimpa benu obane de wa hwere wono nkwa ma numu nkekam numu yoboy osi no ogwa mensina so ani gye no tumudo na oye ne de ede na huru biara agogo wo oye ogwa no obohwe ne we ubuni na ntade chi kwesida na wode nsam no ana wode ose wode yoyo na wokafa oye bulldozer ketepira excavator wo hyase da wuri tenyim ebusia we juru ogina oye Connection Junction Zion Park na ncha wope abasa na wo de kokrai wo ko bro fiedu no so ogo wo de kokrai adani ya emi sechi anada eda so ya emi sechi abasa na oso no so wa wai webum ekum nyimpa eyi kagina ma oman na owo ogwa asaba ma Dr. Kwesata otodo ebien na so oye Council of State member ozine menkupe fie obi said ne bena sam na orokodo ogwai eyinti asaba ma na asem de oboto tasra aban na nkwankuru bere titsere busuafa ukita eden a oye wona japade akasa ogwane de mo wo yimfi de ogwa no oye Asian capital nti ye woda mabo sakasi na ho nti so obeya mpefumbrem na won hwe kono obafado na dama adana ote dem nyina no nyere wo bu ego na mu wo besiesie ne kama na akaba na de we siesie na ewie eda na nyipa butu matrim na mu za wo hwe no wo ye ho hwe onye ye ne di ono di odam pefu wo ye ho amandra mambre na wo bu dama da na ote dem osaba ma Dr. Kusata oto de bi ogwa ma hin nsam okan ebi
Father, and some people this is one month list. The more we do, then can you now go to this? My boss, here are Bobo. Young Bobo, the man, the one called Mama exercise, the whole of and then they are about oh yeah, in those days, and then I was sitting 13 minutes. Over the years, because he maintained the one madam, okay, this is sorry let's charge it what we break now, and that's then where you got quality technical affairs, our mayor very store. When they go, and then you know, never very store, they about strength, there are two ways. I can't even put me a restore. This one, together with the landowners, property owners, they are
eti Ogwamahin Osabama Dr. Kusata Otodu Ebienara so oya Council of State member odini masem to gwanwe Coastal Television yabo anoma na yenye enuanoma na wo ho Madam Brenu asem na osi titerempo wona wo bɔ mmɔden kro danam kiyi oya hena nanom ne film na wo hwede nche nkwan butuma aba no onnam de na oya adesan na oya bresa oya anufa ne nsuta besom ne nsin mo kabane de ontum na wampere opinin na nkwa yeye na no so bonkomo da ho so waka ne bi
Moses Ahani na Mandeni na Depi America oya Osabiri America okay and then you are beyond repair and head na you but as we go to repair yɛbɛhwɛ na yɛdi na yɛsiesie ni na ɔba ndama yɛkuku dɛ ne nyinaa yɛne culture history ne nyinaa bɔkɔ nti ɔsɛ dɛ dɛ no bi wɔ yɛbɛtumi a restore a yɛrestore ma yi gugu no so ɔyɛ yie a yɛngugu na yɛnsa abɛɛfudie bi na nkuo mi nyɛ fɛ menyim dɛ ɔbɛ affect abusuafo a wobu wɔn dɛ bi ba wɔnya abɛnedɛmɛ yi nti obiara ɔnhyɛ dze na wabɛnedɛmɛ mi ndɛm nadmo wɔ ha mpanyinfo wɔ ha maasom wɔ ha bi yɛbɛhwɛ beebi a obiara de ne ti bɔto na yɛahwɛ ma yɛbɛyɛ a ɔbɔboa wɔn ma biribiara watɔ yi maasom
Number ways, when you be able to see what was see all years. When baby alone, you want to fire, papa, boys. When you're there, you didn't pay there, then you won't go and never be done. So I wish you fear. Yes, so one boy, I'm the one on you. Only it's no woman when you be able to
now, no one on home, no, be pray, no,
next time, no one name be pray.
But
never should the hospital, and then another hospital. Yes, why in surgery? See, our friends, why in
since just started journey, after out, and they be able to be a issue. We are now afraid.
It's abandoned now. We pay your visit here.
I'm a chill of friend. Yeah, then you are hammer. It's not your day. You treat cab and I ever hit. And the other is no,
it's so far. How much you send you?
So, I'm the young man I'm what I said. You go doing our now, so that nothing. And see, I want you all the team, whether it's better, West, and even Abdul. I know about any other assets than what's him on you. Actually, you had the I'm going to see the Nimpa no kwa what's us record able to not be assembly
I want to wait to meet Danny for the system.
So far, this year, I shall maybe one maybe more waiting up. And many assembly cuts us and you're not going to account share between I am also to a baby at 3 years. I ask you,
It's in the Yara, you can say a dying machine building, and I am trying to follow you.
And they are either way to know the roof. And especially about good to know the so far, I can say, Echo Fedra, the same as you are, maybe you bring a young a house, another bread or house of food, and so beyond the press, and also other issue you could do. So they are the major one, maybe a china, maybe a house.
From Kofiata, most bear around bear 2 to 3 no. Number 2, we blue. It's a blue diamond, no mupui, no moon there. Why you push more? I won't find there. I want to hear all the show. To small girl, it's a make a impombo. Theatre one there. I don't know either. Webu was a go. My small boy now, John. Okashi inside war. No, I saw small baby. Walk for Sophie. Would ye? I let him. What the farm I mean, or for my men. No, my men, and you won't watch ya. No small boy, no so I don't old one. To small boy, no save my men. My men can show no small boy near them tea. Nothing good, small boy, no do. No, croquet. talk them no go for train small boy and when no sene wan che bia na ewu de wa kotwe ma me no so ma me no nyim ma wa ye na chere ma no kwa na ya zo abosan so ma ba
ya me no sunsun bo wuro mu ma enya kokodu etumu kwa dan inside akotwe oya emire wona ada wo no osidan etende
oh na some we fear around by 250 something to be fear no be mbada ade na mpade bi from so from catch no mu phone okolo nti mama wantetem ti me tell one am me chitu ego na am ti brine ta mo be ambasem ko inside Wall Street na mo solite ti mo solite na impa bi anya o mangote na mo chima ata no koso na mo start dem mensa me se wanyo no hwi won echi nti so boy na catch am there me 7 nanan na okay nanan ka oh mo winta me menjen ti me se wanyo fi so boy nse mam nse wanyo me nse mo wa ase ni fi nanan no do nanan no kwani yan nti echilin nkam na bia amba mpa bia anya o mangote ti echilin nkam bia anyi so finance nti smoga bi na o nkam yakwase be ti echilin wo dan don bebre aba walo hye ni bia anzi so fi se wo di so fi aza kama mi no benya no nyo kama mi no na bia anya o mangote na mo boa
ti ya shada da tam ni be
around by 340 and 320 side na da masa ni si
obanda ma kupe mo hospital
hospital ma ko bi but bi num kwai
manyama na me ndam pad na munua no so defom samana na sorry do or Johnson na me ka che munua nde he on from phone nsi chai nti me ka don from phone nsi chai na me na otna Johnson ewe na otna ho na opedon to opedon na me ti bibi kudum na me this speed na mo hwe abu na chi tam na mo gbe gate na mo pay no one way the what to your mother as in come on gate na
nti na ti me hunu yan
o chenyo ti mo pay na me start mo kekam de impeshe mo muna na show munua na mo wu nti impambro nko fumbro won bobo enu ansa na o check kan ansa na nko froba o keken wa Mesra one day when we are mobile on bobo yen
yaza oye enyanoma adan bui no kwana wofado na wodi yi hono mpanyifo wodi hono film na yakate na yankwa nsamfufrum wansamfufrum no yeda hware ejina ogwa na mpanyin ama ya atase da homasua ohyase wo oye fimfimanto ma na yeka school akasa abe fimfimanto ma biti de oye mensa sab school a owo gwa mekire owo ayikwa no school ne ye school a obakansa nyendaba beye afi apem ahakono edunum esan 1957 no school a otiremi obobo ade ebusua Coastal Television aba pro akọ school no akọhwe de ana sabu tafeche obare manara odu school no bobo ade wo oye 1957 school no pempendu wodi mo tanyen ana de nchima abahu ebusua Coastal Television yakra yen na yohosam nkoten konompa mafama no wafado wodeba oye mense sabu school no kwana tetu apansan na so da member no ugunu kotar fe tumdama na sonde kota ni na wawai ada wo fa no monchimonka equation waji school ni na afa eyinti omadesuafo no wo bre papa nsana wenya wone adesua papa bi wenye sua na nyede ye ka adesua anyo no nkote one da te classroom wo kompa no nkopontipo oka adesua no eyi ma Coastal Television yenye oye kwanchefu peina oda school na no Mami Charlotte Hassan ye ne bon ko bi sende enno batampei ebe suku yi mu mhwa hini na sabota fecha suku yi ne hawo na atete owo no ana amampenfu aso ate ana so de won fada damara na Mami Charlotte Hassana oye headmistress dema oye mensa saba basic school no odinsem tugwa na yen nteza Mami okenebi
ebusia mama wakwa aba mo atena SB school wa ha ebusia oya pipe
me 70 year fiation na mo me
mensa saba school kwana wafado kwansempana wafado ko do school ha no tetu apansa school fu mo fo man complain
awo fo so complain ma me pa ni wan no more no tunu otida
yo pocha me da say ye wa sola be 5 wa ha nti won na otumbi no wo ye do ye was the tsugudo na wa grade do nti sensuta na wa asan wa ohuru ne nyina ba marazi muntu anamma nko assembly bia nko ye hwe but nsonso na wo ha na wo ka won hubum na wo ye do ye ba onam de won fa eyi ngudu nti ko tare ngudu nti nsuto so ana wa ohuru ne nyina ozokọ na ya asan ya abayan name
echi yamre mense sabe school how attitude bena mense sabe school or welfare system
sisia how are you menye erosion or ho yan papa ekwan no nsu no ofisu nyina ofa hanti of obubu that na or ho na ma nemfam no apart from road no was on mafama no so orofo a nsuta oya ho papa bi no metrasro bubo fom na aze car pontum mfom ba so ha nti how are you menye
ye hu de on computer dan we si won no ho abokosam te da nshi ba yan
Moboto no wa ha was a President Kufuor na Abredo na washa ase the worisi into meba han oya Metro Education Directorate one my as a data co uncompleted building na all schools are won wi no yeza akọ gwanya ho hwe na mom Chief Executive obey so wa ma yeza list ni nyina yeza kọ obi o won completed building bia won school no wa ma yeza kọ na ye ho nkakra so wa ma yeza egu krata do na yeza akọma nti ye hwe kwan de bibi papa bi be fima ba
bamman some security some
no so ye ha ka se papa ya baba na we budani electrical wire o ha wa atwetwe ni nyina fan ya obubo he wa atwetwe ni nyina we tutu ni nyina kọ bibia ezibese he bia ya baba na wa afa kọ
watchman na
mpocho ye watchman wa ha
aba nja
sense na zemenyim wakada ncha awofo no mbo na yen yi watchman na won support yan with their pay na akotuan but awofo no so won tua levies PTA levies baba no won tua kakra was baba no so no yeze ye maintenance wa hanin sama yen yi watchman wa ha o hwe he do o hwe school yi man
mami edunye kala mense sabe school go ba ati shema ya
50 what's on 57 1957 onye 1957 onye Ghana na woda ye pepepe Kwame Nkrumah si ozema Cape Coast man
nti ehwe Ghana abosana wotinu oya abosana odo wubun anada odo woyeli
oya tsudan no ho yezin papa no ho yezin na mom za ho yin windows na maybe painting so kakra windows wa maintaining former Chief Executive Priscilla Ahin ozi ho dwuma papa na ya lucky ndua na was here no onye papa nti ohwa na biebu yimu nyina ma asesa but apart from that no all them do yet to dan nti no ho yedzina nkasa no ho yedzin na ya asan so PTA abo he ma so no ya ye no louver blades nti ye maintain no kakra na ye behia painting no no obro he no do this wo baba abobo he na enso ye nyu obeje papa me da sipi obobo
na ye ka mensa saba no asama ebusua adagere bobahin osan no ye panyina yimidi na hwenhu no nye no wamfa anye na nkote ne de obo no mboten de odeboboa nchirimba a warba na so nda abade na yehu ebusua nda abade na yehu hwe school a ote ma kwabran weyi ni nsem sika wesi na hona wafa school no mpo mempire mbubo bia ne den hona wafa da mense sabe school no a me kase woye titi wode da kasa kesim wotete officer kesim police fuwom prison officers fuwom soldier fuwom nurse fuwom doctors fuwom politicians fa wom na so nda abade ne hu mense sabe school wotere mi watete so apansam ana se bi say da 70 school ni PTA mpeifu nyima na school munyi SMC or school management committee munyi bi na assembly member ewo oye ayiko electoral area ebe na no mo ni twafa school hotel mo no ebusia no kwani emenyi mi se nsemi wona obandam na yanhwe na pamsi bi amfensi a etete nama me ibu hia na yihu sisa school hotel mi awna wu nse foforo nka ho dado no so oro woro pe ma obwo ma nkofo se ba dusuafo yen hwe ICT lab wulisi fiti oye former president Donald Jacob Kofo na bredo nti ya kampa ba 2007 2008 nimu na nti fa 2009 na wada na banan wada ma nti since then we see them ICT center we abani bi ala mbai metro chief executive bi ambai education director fofu bi ambai abai director sa ba kwenti wakwa wuhu ebushafo nti igwayo Cape Coast center ayiko center school no ya private school or government school mensa saba eche omo ya yoho iyi se papa no na saman odende ma debi obutin so da ma obonu yo bitin so da ma nti school no nya boafo bia ma nkokoboa mensa saba school no wo oye monchemanka oye mini school na emso wunya boafo bia ma nka me on kaya wono moa ma yemfensi na yanko oye nsamfufrum anada oye maami tokuna what the suspension atono don twene ho na nsam kwa na ebi mbia wode atono do no wonhwe wonye hwehwem no maami na ame montwem nde montwem wonchena twi yakai gide budoza ketepira na odebutumi asefi office amete no yemi mpengu de what a politics with the butumi afi be mete no nya politics o oye nyimedie amenya no mebu pe ho na mama wonfa oya amanya sam mfa mutumi fi bebe ho ntima mi wae nsamtwofu nhiem press conference na mama na ye na ode na yodi na nsam da to gwede nnayin onkwande onkwachina ochina su tomorrow nyada obutu na ndefi officer otedam nti wae nsamtwofu nhiem ebusua yakwohwe mama ne nsamtwofu nhiem oye na nsama ode to gone bi.
False claims are made against a judge or commissioner or other public office holder subject to Article 146 proceedings just to achieve a political agenda, the solution cannot be to resign or voluntarily retire out of frustration, pressure, or fear. You would only subject yourself to two cruelties: a judgment based on false claims and loss of everything you have worked for. It may well be that the efforts being made are intended to frustrate me so that I resign, so that the architects of the scheme can go back into the media and say that the wild and unfounded allegations were not defended because they were true and I had no defense to them. As Chief Justice of the nation, who has been given the privilege and obligation to lead administration of justice, I should not turn tail and run when I know the implications of not defending false and unwarranted charges. If I resign under these circumstances, I will be saying that this flawed, unknown, and opaque process is acceptable. It is not. Finally, let me respectfully say that the current bizarre proceedings I have brought to your attention present a twist to our nation's democratic journey that we all ignore at our own cost. My humble view is that Ghana has come too far in the 33 years of the Fourth Republic not to be concerned about the unconstitutionalities that have been designed not to affect just me personally as Chief Justice, but all judges and public officers subject to removal processes of Article 146, if this one is successfully carried out without being questioned. Behind me is every judge in the country. Behind me is every commissioner or head of an independent constitutional body in the country. If this is successful, it will be tried on anyone. I am not countering these processes for myself, but on account of the leadership burden that I carry. If the nation is willing to accept these developments in its democratic journey, it must be understood that I sounded the warning and the nation took the decision to be passive about it. I cannot share the burden of those involved in designing and implementing this enterprise of pretending to use Article 146 proceedings to remove a Chief Justice through unknown and unlawful means, by keeping quiet about the violations of law and due process. Neither can I make anyone's burden lighter by resigning or retiring, instead of proving that not even one of these wild claims in a collection of petitions is even remotely true or meets the standard required for removing a judge. Now, allow me to take you a bit of your time to walk through these petitions. They have been in the public domain for some months now. They are actually available on the internet, so I'm not addressing anything that is not known in the public space. Many negative things have been said about me through public commentary on the petitions, although the petitions were responded to 7 days after I received them. And so anyone who cared to acknowledge my side of the story would have had no need to keep repeating the petitions without discussing them with the answers. And when I provided these answers, I also added with evidence to prove that each allegation was either a lie, a wrong opinion about how work is conducted in the judicial service, a wrong opinion on the work of judges, or a wrong opinion on the duties of a Chief Justice. I'll start with Mr. Daniel Ofori's petition. It is a petition with the most claims. Only 2 out of the several allegations he's making involve him personally as a court user. In one of those allegations, Mr. Daniel Ofori is urging that I should be removed as Chief Justice because I transferred a case in which he's a party from one judge in the High Court to another. That is a crime. What Mr. Ofori did not seem to know, which I stated in my answer to that allegation, is that the judge his case was transferred from had a family crisis and had to leave Ghana suddenly for an extended period. This is the only reason why cases she was handling, including Mr. Ofori's cases, were distributed to other judges to handle. In the second allegation, Mr. Ofori accuses me of transferring a case related to the first one to the new judge who took over his case, after a petition had been sent to me to have the 2 cases heard together. Any lawyer or registrar could have informed him that it is a policy written into the rules of court to have cases between the same parties involving the same issue to be heard by one judge, so that we don't have different decisions from 2 judges on the same matter. So there is no basis or truth to the allegation that I transferred his cases to a new judge because I had an interest in his cases. Indeed, in the year 2020, I wrote a dissenting opinion in one of Mr. Ofori's cases in the Supreme Court. He won that application because my dissenting opinion was a minority opinion of 3 judges. The other 4 judges supported his application. After this, his lawyers applied that I should not sit on his cases again because I had presided over a different case involving him in the High Court when I was in the High Court in, I think, 2010, which he had also lost. Since then, I have not sat on any matter involving the gentleman. But what is disturbing about the current Article 146 proceedings is the fact that the cases that he's complaining about in the High Court, the ones that were transferred to one judge, started from a judgment in the Supreme Court written by His Lordship Justice Kwaman in favor of Daniel Ofori. How can Justice Kwaman, who gave judgment in favor of Daniel Ofori as part of a panel of Supreme Court and whose opinion I dissented with, which has made me a target of Mr. Ofori's anger, preside over processes to remove me as Chief Justice because of complaints that Mr. Ofori has? I have already protested that there is a conflict of interest for Justice Kwaman to chair the committee trying me or hearing me on Daniel Ofori's petitions. What Mr. Ofori's allegations seem to suggest is that a court used
Enti ebusiafo nyane maame former Chief Justice Mami Isaba Tokunu nansam na oda tugwan na nyane maame oye na press conference wi yi pia na aban mu mpemfo asaya wakasa ma aban no so baba no da wode wonsa obotugwa asama wate fi maame no won onye nokwa kwa da maame no begina baka da nhwehwenyim na aban no oreye na nsa wode tunu dunya onye nokwa nti ontu mfi office wonde ontu mfi office wachinan onye nokwa na mu aban no mo oreye bia no ode oye mbra na ode di adwuma mbe sebogonya owo abra sebu kwaman kase mensenu na laso no ye kasamafo dema oye omampai na asoyi yenkoye no so nsama okay ni bi
is the Edu Lodge. Yes, it is close to the Osu Castle, which used to be the former seat of government. As I speak, there are government agencies that operate there. So it is a public place. The Osu Castle is a public place. You can go there to conduct official government business. Beside it are private residences owned by Ghanaians who move freely in and out of their residence, even though they are situated very close to the Osu Castle. So the impression that a facility in the vicinity of the Osu Castle necessarily makes it intimidating or foreboding is completely misplaced. It is unfair. It is not justifiable. Now, Edu Lodge is a state facility which is often used to house high-ranking officials who visit the Republic of Ghana. It belongs to the state. The decision to use that place was not that of government or President Mahama. The committee requested that they needed facilities of a certain status that could house their activities and that could facilitate a smooth running of the proceedings. And that facility was available. It is equipped with modern amenities that will facilitate the work of the committee. And the state only offered it upon the request of the committee. Let me also state that that facility is not intimidating. It is like any regular state facility where business can be conducted to the extent that it is put in the right shape. Wherever these proceedings were held, it will still be in camera, as clearly stipulated in Article 1468 of the 1992 Constitution. So that the proceedings are being held in camera is only in compliance with the Constitution. So it doesn't matter where it is held. And any security measure put in place is only intended to secure the place so that persons who are not authorized to be part of the proceedings do not come there and create any inconvenience. I believe that even if the hearings were held at the court's premises, it will still be under significant security controls to ensure that only authorized persons have access to the place. So to describe Edu Lodge in the terms that her leadership, the Chief Justice, did was most unfair and unjustifiable. It seeks to obscure the process and bring in unrelated matters that seek to cast some aspersion or ill motives on government for affording the committee a place to do its work. As I indicated, we have no interest in violating the Constitution by going into the merits of the case. And that is why government has refrained. Let me put it on record that government itself has had cause, indeed the president himself had cause, to lament the way in which some correspondence around this matter got into the media. You will recall that the very first sign of any leakage was the letter that the Chief Justice wrote requesting for copies of the petition. Before the letter got to the presidency, it was in the media. And you recall that in the president's response, in which he also took the opportunity to forward the petition to her, we raised that issue, that it was not acceptable. Indeed, we had cause, the president had cause then to ask his executive secretary to mark the documents that were being sent to the Chief Justice in order to guard against any leakage. So at no point has anybody leaked anything. Also, it must be noted that even the media houses that first broadcast the content of these petitions were media houses that you can say are aligned to the opposition. And they are the ones who have gone to town with this sort of thing. So to attempt to cast aspersions on the presidency is most unfortunate, and it causes what should be a smooth process leading to the determination of the merit or otherwise of the petitions that have been brought. So in summary, I would say that what has happened today is most regrettable. And as government, or as the President Mahama is committed to upholding the rule of law. We cannot have a situation where, depending on who is involved, the Constitution is set aside. All Ghanaians are equal before the law, in the same way that our courts have dealt with individuals in accordance to law. If members of the judiciary themselves are alleged to be engaged in some wrongdoing, the processes laid down and spelled out by the Constitution ought to be respected. And that is exactly what has happened. I thank you very much. If there are any questions that you have, you may ask them.
So,
yes.
The embattled Chief Justice made reference to veiled threats on her life. And much as you're concerned about sticking to the sanctity of the constitutional procedure she needs to go through, you should equally be worried about this threat on her life. What's government's response to the specific issue about threats on her life?
The Chief Justice, more than anybody else, perhaps in this country, should be aware of the platform that is available to address such threats. Kamala, if today somebody sends you a threat, you know exactly where to go to seek redress in the matter. And that is what I would say about it. Yes, Akusia.
One of the groups that petitioned, the Shining Stars group, the Chief Justice in her press conference indicated that her research done by her team show no traces of authenticity when it comes to that particular group, that the group has not been registered. Can you authenticate that group if we know anything about the Shining Stars?
First of all, I'm not sure whether there are provisions covering this, whether there's a requirement for authenticity, as it were. There are also individuals. How do you authenticate the individuals? What matters is that they have raised issues. And the Chief Justice was given opportunity by the President and the Council of State to provide initial responses, which then form the basis of the determination of a prima facie. The President, in consultation with the Council of State, came to the conclusion that there was a basis to proceed further. The President then, in accordance with Article 1466, I believe, set up the committee as spelled out by the Constitution and gave them the petitions to look into. the processes have been ongoing for quite some time now. So as far as the president is concerned, every law, rule, or regulation or process that has to be adhered to has been respected. So I do not know how this particular matter in any way impinges on the integrity of the process that has gone on so far. But then again, the Chief Justice has had cause, at least on 5 occasions. The Chief Justice and others, I must indicate, have had cause at least on 5 occasions to go to the Supreme Court to seek redress in the matter. And on all occasions, the Supreme Court has upheld the process as is currently underway. And so that, for me, should resolve the issue beyond any reasonable doubt. Yes, Max. As I've been at pains to explain all evening, the president can only proceed on the basis of law. The law spells out what can and cannot be done. The Constitution does not set a timeline, and therefore the president cannot impose a timeline. Indeed, at this moment, the matter is entirely out of the hands of the president, insofar as it is seized with the committee. The president cannot direct the committee on any.
Iti ebusia mansan mo akwa ababio mfambra oye Coastal Television do edembre yenyim no oye abana sey na ahene ma metokuno no so na sey wen na wakasa na nkomo a wada tugbo ina no de bokate a abakansa anapeni ina no obiara dine nima asem no da atom nti ehwe oye Daily Graphic nanyima asema Daily Graphic other banner in the exoneration not an option nti damana oye ene ma metokuno oleka nti ode ene ma me sabatokuno ene onye honorable Fusukwachi nisino fayin ena other to oye Daily Graphic other to nanyim no na Daily Graphic the other burning ebusia yeko oye the Chronicle oboka tenima Chronicle oboka tenezi oye Zoom Lion we kupe moye Burkina Faso Zoom Lion for na essentially wo Burkina Faso a wakaland wo ho nti ono na wonye abano nhihyeya wan wo bia no wonye abano wan akaye nti ehwe mfeyina the Chronicle de be ya wode oye mami tokuno no mfanyin ena oda to na ode Zoom Lion fo wono so wono mfanyin ode aboto the Zoom Lion no wonye Burkina Faso mpanyinfo wan ayenhyehyɛ fe Daily Guide de oboka ten so ode oye omampanyin kofo no mfanyin na ode atowo na ma oyechen de omampanyin kofo ena ode religious politics NPP amanyeku wariye no Daily Guide no also mampayikofo wakasa etia wonhyehyya otedam no ntebusia no so yenhwe na yenhye nso na mametoko no fei no that one also I will not resign eti no so no fei na odi atowo no special prosecutor no arrest oye former GRA no onye oye SML staff no former special prosecutor what to suffer one wa catch one nti do boka Daily Guide ma other bayin ete no so yinya ma me so fa ya akofo quarries license extension nti no so do bo na na fa ma no Daily Guide aba na dampen headmasters medal oye kwafo okukun oye headmaster no so ina no so wachi oye suspect no wachi nyimpa ebien nti no so da daily guide of the bobadin the Ghanaian Times the book at no fe no the ben oil fedodo what the oye enkran ni adama lache today bien na no so just come in Gamashe in wo nti no so na ni teko choru na wonso ebien wonu fanyin na ogodama ekuku de mebieni na wore pin oye gamancha hu nti ebusua no so da the Ghanaian Times do baka 10 or the boba adinyen na yeko showbiz no ma showbiz no yinua ba ma oye keke fusu osi I'm a prince not a king ti keke fusu do fein no the one ewaba oye kasomi sena no so no fein ena oda to no Shally from Papa so no so odino fein da boto showbiz name we na we kire wono babio na da obutum waye ebusia the Democrat Daily Democrat the obakate no odi oye diabetes a orokodo wo moframum no se ohia very neat urgent oye shafu honorable complimenta akando ono no de dem nsem oti dem da to gwa shafu hwe wumasua do no so no fein oda Daily Democrat nenyim na za no so orkan de JTAC one directorate oye what mankofo na general one family visit no so ogudare ori ejuma dam ro be ya nda doctor adecha doctor no nyim ho hwe na wo doctor ne ngintum no so umusha so yen orutu wana mol papa the business analyst anano odi yana ma mi tokun no fe na abotenyim no si tokun no e government wa crash bam osuma ma mi tokun no reka na osuma oye abano so no so oreka da oye de ubakata no odi abobadin national enquiry de ubakata no so odi aba asedun katia na oche oye Ghana Port and Harbour Authority Board no asedun katia no oye chairman nimfanyin na odato waji no furugu waji ne chaw fe special prosecutor nimfanyin da so wo na oso no de why arrest more tell mo tete nkofai special prosecutor koko from Ponda Sambaba special prosecutor special oguru echeche nti no suru munsama the obaka the national enquiry or the albadi GRA no was set to modify oil taxation yo ti yehwe sanwala o modify da ayende yeho sana tax no wadaba no munsam ayi no aka yepi nti GRA mpanyfo no so modify oil taxation the national enquiry do bokata no ma odebayin the Hawk newspaper also ode no munsam the aba na the Hawk ana no ode oye mfayin kwel ebien ebasa anan honorable Afonyo Markin no feyin dem owura Sam George no feyin dem na oye opeyin bi no feyin dem also resetting lines reset Ghana no we resetting oye rensim nti no so feyin na odi abana nsama orka dafa oye the obakata the New Republic the obakata no si yoko no we ship oye ex NAFCO cartel no we to CU no yene na oye two directors na watch hon nti is that special prosecutor na nchi yo chi no ma papa no feyin ka ho papa yo ka ho on odi no feyin what the abotugwa wo oye the New Republic no the New Trust the obekata na obe ni obey no so wa begwa papa Edmond che no go sad wo oye African airline no nsam no mu nti no so nyobudo baka teni bia get fund sikan wa then wa ba na ombe what is got oye fraudulent or record management wo get fund correction gare inu nti no so nyobudo baka teni bia ebohu no political motive behind owura oye ofisu kwache na odi na mensemi odi atugwa damara na ozo man pay ne chief justice ne so no fayin odi atugwa wo oye n'enyim ho na ebusua yakọ oye Daily Post de obaka tena Daily Post de oye defense minister Dr. Omanibu Ama ne fayin no odaboto no no one public with fake Facebook account a orokodo no ode wo hwede papa nkofo aye ye Facebook account fake na wode gije nkofo wonfam nsem fayin do a sanumra o maba nka kasi sample mo wa ba ya mprantwum girlfriend asampa panyim kra o sanuma maba na we ya fa na munum nsam abaye deja nteno so nsama odi abaye government wa claims of political agenda against suspending wo oye ma metokonon no so no fayin na oda ba wa cho asam no tata wo hono ntebusua do baka to baka sane pe no da owomin Daily Banner no so odma metokonon no fayin aba na no so wa kade ekun na suspension na on resign china na suspension supo inyada obuturu na this baby was suspension na was suspend no ho ntino so no nsama owen the Ghanaian the overseer the obakata no so odi oye mami tokuno no fusu kwachi no so no feyin odaba na odi manke no feyin daba no so rich smart young Bernard champion no so or contest for MPP flag bearer na tasama no so odi abotugwayin na daybreak the obakata no so be no odi bibay was Yesu moja in trouble Yesu moja in trouble abe Yesu moja ayo no so inyebia ebun nyekata no bikinkana ebun da orokodo nti no so da aba abotugwayin nti ebusiafo the obakata abakan sane pe no aha na brama monkwan ma mede besi the exposi no so the bakaten aba papa na mamanda wase na mama wumbo na hwe wada adope so enya benadaje na edimahedi mama wumbo na hwe papa wo Facebook pass boniface jobless edu ena no keka ho K360 ena Eko Simpson wonya yedon maso papa the why number 1 wo oye digital no do na on Facebook YouTube so the usafo ina no aseda sonko na ankomo hon mambre fie na minchia oye surveying professor Emmanuel Kwamna Bafeji ne busafan sana no ma minjira do na menso eyi kakraba onye eyi mum ne mum oye ndasa ebusua mekire nyomi ebusuafo eye namba kunafo namba aha na warisi yende oye yendeja oye owura jake selete nyomi afikurinte mare na papai onya ne yemfre na yeridi ni afihie se yeridi ni afihie ya na no yehwe kwande yame ya doma bosumara yebowuram July bosom na da otodo oye July bosom na da otodo oye esia yeboko oye ICG sasonum na yakenda sosom ansana no anaponu nsano na yaye oye yare papa no nanda netamu oye agrofie ya na za ebishen no aye de shapapa na enyam no ya pawutam ye no kama na yedi ama yan ahwefo eti mamansel namdo tansel de yame yadoma July 6 bo modern bra na bakai no ho na yense yendeja no enyeminyam eti ebusia aha na bema mamkwan mamede besi fam ketikeku asoreba Kofi Esuma anepei mamawacho
Coastal TV, Jumedi Fufra Yada to Ubuntu. It's about development. They discuss issues of national concern, issues of central concern, matters that concern Central Region and Ghana. Ubuntu Sama offer Kepus, baby will be Ubuntu Sama offer. Or your one and Sadi, there or Sade or the Ubuntu, or the baby on the Yadin in Fubana over Trasi.
we are no what the man or one an answer the dozen puntu baba kepus one an answer the dozen puntu baba central region one an answer the dozen puntu on baba gani minara puntu sama of a kepus baby will be a puntu sama of or your one an answer the there or sade or the puntu or the baby in the P and a but nasi women down of Piara live ever Coastal TV, your own face, your own voice. No me yesi machara.